everybody. Here we are out here in Avra Valley Road, quite a bit west, almost as far west as you can go. We're probably about close to 20,000 west, Avra Valley Road right here. And I worked for a mine that was one of Sarco's mines. It was 25,000 west, so about 5 miles away from the mine that I used to work for. And I don't know if you can see the peak of that mountain out there, but there's a whole small range. Noisy little fellers. So there's a whole range of mountains back there, and behind that whole range is this Sarco mine. It's called Silverbell, and it's a leach-only mine. They don't have smelters, and they don't do any of that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's it. So, the reason I brought you out here is there's all kinds of different cactuses and such. Even a phone pole. Hey. My dog's going crazy. But there's all kinds of different cactuses out here. Like this version of cholla, which I've got in my yard, tons of them. But the reason I brought you out here is because it's one of the weirdest saguaro cactuses I've ever seen. I mean, you know what a saguaro looks like. But take a look at that guy. Would ya? I always call that one the Christmas tree saguaro, because it pretty much looks almost like a Christmas tree. It's got arms up the wazoo. I don't know how many arms are on that, but there are more arms on that saguaro than I think any saguaro I've ever seen. And I've lived out here for this part of Arizona for about 63 years, a little bit more. But that thing is interesting, isn't it? Talk about some arms on that puppy. And saguaros in different places look a little bit different. I mean, they don't look like this. But I mean, some of them, like the ones that grow out here, seem to have all their arms coming out like midpoint of the saguaro cactus itself, and it'll have like 3, 4, 5, 6 arms, whatever. Other areas, the arms come out low and high and in between and stuff all over the place. But this is the weirdest sucker I've ever seen. I don't know what his mama fed him when he was young. This bad boy is different. Anyway, that's all for today on this bad boy. Okay, boys and girls, we're going down a road here. This is called Pump Station Road. And off to our right, there's a water tower and stuff. But anyway, running parallel with the way we're driving right now is a dirt runway that I guess is private. There's a hangar over there. I don't know what those people, I know they have airplanes in there too. I don't know what the guy does for a living, but it's kind of neat. He'll fly in and out of here in his private plane. A prop job, little one, nothing big and fancy. And this road, when it rains, turns into elephant snot. You can't hardly get down it. You can kind of go the way I'm going, but coming back, you might be able to move, but barely, and your tires are going to be spinning like crazy, because it is just like elephant snot. And there's the guy's hangar. He's got his flag out there, beautiful. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. And again, I don't know what their business is. They got a skid steer out there, and I know he's got some planes and stuff. But anyway, we're going down Pump Station Road, which is about 2 miles from, a mile to 2 miles from where that cactus was that I showed you. And there's a lot of game and stuff like that running around. But out in this area, except for those few pieces of property that we saw behind, is pretty much checkerboarded too. I'll show you on a map maybe when we get back. But state land's got a bunch, BLM's got some, and there's no man's land in between the checkerboards. So it's kind of like between the state and BLM, they don't have the black spaces and the red spaces. They just have all of one color of the checkerboard, which makes the stuff on the inside kind of hard to access if they wanted to make it difficult. And that state trust land is supposed to be for our schools. I've been doing a little reading up on that. And they auction some off from time to time, what have you. But anyway, there's little hills here. We used to be able to come out here and shoot all the time. Just sight in our rifles or just target practice or have fun. But they pretty much put the kibosh on that with everything they've been fencing off and posting. Maybe I'll show you some state land postings, and maybe I'll take you to the glider port. I can't stay out here all day. First thing I did, we ran into town, me and the pups, and we picked up our online order of groceries. That's groceries. But since most people in this world can speak as though they're illiterate, I like to match them up and have them go, huh? When I was talking. Like I supposed to. I'm just asking you. Is it okay if I ask you a question? Like I supposed to? Yeah, I can sound ignorant too. Some of those people are just better at it. Anyway, these hills are kind of nice, and they made pretty good backstops when we came out here just to shooting. But we never really shot a whole lot around here. We've climbed these mountains. I've gone up them with my Land Cruiser before I gave it to my son. But anyway, it's kind of nice out here. I used to like to come home this way after work because it was just quiet and peaceful. No stop signs, no nothing. Okay, here we come up to a gate, and they've even made it no target shooting, state trust land. Violators will be prosecuted. Used to say no hunting, no nothing without a permit. You don't really need a permit. All you need is a hunting or fishing license. Clinton went in office, and then he said no trespassing unless you are actively hunting. They changed the signs. And now there's even a sign for state trust land that says no target shooting. And there's another one right up here, state trust also. It says state trust land, no trespassing. Permit required. For information, call 602-542-2119. Target shooting is not allowed. Vehicles may travel only on existing roads and trails. Never drive through water catchments or tanks. Active hunting and fishing is allowed with valid Arizona licenses, which is what I usually get so I can go on this property. Leave gates as they are found, either open or closed. Please don't litter. If you pack it in, pack it out. That part's all okay. But anyway, here we go. Onward and upward. I think that's state trust, and that's on my left, and on my right is BLM. BLM, they don't put signs up usually saying you can't do this, you can't do that. What a bunch of stuff, huh? That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, we be cruising. There's a whole bunch of bees, bee boxes anyway, that house the bees, which is cool that they put it out here. It stays away from houses and residential areas and stuff, and make local honey. So if you got allergies, eat local honey. Local honey will cure you. Did me. Okay. And we continue. Down the Pump Station Road. The other road that's out here is the Pump Line Road, where the gas lines actually run up beneath. So, and this road goes right to El Tiro, which is the street that takes you right to my house, and if you turn right. And if we turn left, it'll take you to that glider port, and I don't think they're open today, but we might just run down there real quick, make a U-turn, come on back. This road's pretty well maintained, unless it's raining. If it's raining, it sucks. All these little washes, they all run. You play absolute havoc getting across from them. There's some of the hills and mountains. That mountain way out there is called Ragged Top. Some people call it Sawtooth, but actually beyond that, probably 20 miles or so, is the range of mountains, which are the Sawtooth Mountains. That one is just Ragged Top. And in front of me, I'll show you, is Picacho Peak. It's way the hell and gone out there, and if I really knew how to work this camera, I know I could zoom in a little bit. But I just ordered another camera too, so I mean the cameras I'm using right now, this is my expensive one. This is my $50 camera. And my other one that I use as well, here, hold on, maybe I can get a picture of it for you, is this one. And this is a little Kodak. And that's my whoops, there it is, the Kodak. It's the not as good camera, but my cell phone works better than that. And there we go. Got some water tanks. Looks like they got some solar panels up on top to pump the water, which is great. Back there I used to shoot a lot. There's a little hill, kind of in the foreground. I don't know if you can see it. I used to take concealed carry people out here all the time too. I mean, I used to be able to take them everywhere when I was giving those classes, and then slowly but surely the land was all grabbed up. And I don't know, time will tell if that's a good thing or not. I don't think it's a good thing. These are tax dollars to get it, and they charge us to go on it. Then if you want to buy it or lease it or even have a right-of-way through it, it costs you an arm and a leg and maybe a testicle. I don't mind the arm and the leg sometimes, but anyway, kind of neat out there. Let's see, around my place is about 17,000 west. And that mine, all behind that range right there, that's all Asarco. Behind the whole enchilada. You can't see nothing from this side. On the other side, there's several pits and fields where they leach and put waste, which is just no good rock. At least with nowadays technology of leaching. But that's 25,000 west. So we're about 10 miles, 10, 11, 12 on the outside, 15 miles the way the crow flies from my house to get out there, which was a pretty short commute. Now when I worked at Evergreen, that was 7 miles and a 5 mile dip the way the crow flies. There's another wash. These washes are pretty. I don't know what you can see of them on the camera. Oh. Okay. But it's kind of a nice ride. Kinda, sorta. You know, the other day when I took you through the Pinal Park area, that was about a 30, I think total 38-minute video or something. I think it took about almost 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, something like that to download. It was crazy. So yeah, when people do these little filmy things here, it takes them a while. Way out there. That's Pinal Park. I don't know if you can see it. There, you can see some of the white buildings maybe. I don't know. I can see it. If I zoomed in again, if I remember how with this camera, see if I can do it. Let's see here. I can't see. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see out there. But way out there is Penelope Park. Way the hell and gone out there. Okay, that was kind of cool. Figured that out on this thing. Okay, and this is El Tiro, which I don't know exactly what it means in Spanish, but I know that on my side of the street where I live, all the streets are named after guns like Derringer and Flintlock, and I got single six for mi casa, mi grande blanco casa de caca. And all the streets on the other side of the road are like antelope, they're game. And El Tiro, I was told, was either the distance between or something between the gun and the game. Don't ask me. See, if you speak Spanish, leave a comment below. But just like Marana. Marana supposedly means pregnant pig or pig farm or Lordy only knowsies. Okay, and I'll take us up to the gate, because right where you, I don't know if you can see those signs or not, but right up at those signs, here comes a car coming out of that area, the glider port. But all these, there's a lot of airports around here, but most of them were used during World War II, and they were like Penelope Park. That was a Army Air Corps training facility to train pilots. Okay, this is the place. It's closed. I'll bring you up to the sign, let you read the sign. Well, it's not totally closed. Those guys just drove out of there. We could go in, but it's not open to the public. Tucson Soaring Club. It says, visitors welcome. TucsonSoaring.org. And up here it gives the hours. Hours are Saturday, Sunday from 9:30 to 5, and Wednesday 12:30 to 5. And today is Thursday, so they is be closed. So that car that just left was probably a, look, they even got a gate there now. I used to drive back there all the time and shoot in 4-wheel drive. My last brother and I were in our 4-wheel trucks driving back there some years ago, back in the, I don't know, around 2000, before they put up all the gates and stuff. And we're going down this wash. He had his wife, and his sister was my wife, and we're cruising down the this wash, and all of a sudden he stops and he jumps out. So I stop my 4-wheel drive and I jump out. And he looks down on the ground and he says, look, he says, tracks. That's some deer. So I said, yeah, those are deer tracks. So we jumped back in our truck, and this time I was out in the front, and I stopped. And I jumped out, and he jumped out of his truck, and he said, look, tracks. And there were car tracks crossing the wash. I said, Ford. Anyway, I'm an idiot. But I like to have fun. So anyway, here we is. We're coming back El Tiro, heading east. And it's a pretty nice dirt road. It'll turn into a paved road up yonder. And here's the pump station road that we just came off of. So we'll drive down here. That mountain range, way the hell and gone out there, those are the Santa Catalinas. And on the right side of the Santa Catalinas is Tucson area. And on the left of them, to the north, would be Oracle and Catalina and those towns. And that's where the gold is coming from. That runs down Canada del Oro into the Santa Cruz River. And I've been doing some more reading on that. Most of the gold that gets down this far is supposed to be super, super fine. I mean, we're talking cooking flour fine almost. And it doesn't, I guess, collect like normal gold would in gravel areas. It acts differently. It floats more. But what's good about the Santa Cruz River, since all that stuff's coming down from Tucson, if you get near it, that water actually smells kind of like detergent, which means it's going to make the water wetter. So if you do any sluicing, it'll make things nicer, easier for the gold to fall out of the water rather than just floating on top. So anyway, I'm going to shut you off. We're just heading home. Adios, folks.